Alright, what's going on guys, Liam here, and in today's video I have a commentary for y'all, and I want to talk about what my personal favorite schools are in Wiz. You know, the combination of both PvE, PvP, you know, to the sound effects, and how cool I think the symbols are. And I think I'm going to probably rate each part of that category from 1 to 10. Now, obviously this video is about my opinion, what I think. If you disagree, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Just an opinion video. You can feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What are your favorites? What don't you like about each school? Feel free to let me know. It's a big discussion video, but yeah, let's get right into it. So we are going to start on the Storm, which is my personal favorite actually, and I'm going to start off with PvP, which is my favorite, obviously, mode in the game. Now, I'm going to rate PvP probably a 9 out of 10, and the reason I put it at 9 out of 10 is probably because my playstyle is kind of geared towards playing aggressive. I think you guys kind of know that here on the channel. You know, I like small decks, I like doing a ton of damage, I like playing fast, I like there being risks as in, you know, Storm has like no health. If you misplay, you probably lose, you know. I kind of like it when there's a high skill ceiling, basically, and if you mess up, you get punished for that, basically. I kind of really like that philosophy of Storm. And for PvE, I'd probably have to rate this an 8 out of 10. I'm not too big into PvE, however, I do like being the school that like hits the hardest and like the main hitter. I don't know, again, it's just my playstyle, what I like personally. You know, not everybody's into that, but personally, I like that, you know. I like to, you know, get good stats on my Storm and stuff like that. I like to get high damage, high crit, and just crank out the damage and, you know, be the best hitter, basically, is what I like. In terms of sound, I probably rate Storm at about a 7, I would say. The sound is, yeah, I mean, I feel like it could be better. They could have done something more intense, more intimidating, I feel like, for a school like Storm. I think that'd be really cool, in my opinion. The one we have right now is okay, but I don't know, not a big fan of it. It could be worse, could be better, you know. Kind of in the middle of it with that one. And I guess my last point is going to be like how it looks. So like the Storm symbol itself here, you can kind of see it on, well, we can just look at it here, I guess, you know. There's the purple Storm symbol and, you know, like the Stitch gear as well, right? I probably give this, I don't know, probably an 8.5, I'd say. It is really basic, but, you know, it's like it's a cool looking lightning bolt. Like, you know, sometimes basic is better, simplicity is fine, you know. Personally, that's my stuff. So for a total, I believe we're at 32.5 points, 32.5, yes, points on the Storm. And again, this is my favorite school, guys. Now let's get on to the next school. Coming in at the number 2 spot here, you know, you probably predicted it if, you know, you're a longtime supporter of the channel, but I'm gonna put Fire here. Now, Fire is one of my first schools I played. I think it was Fire, Death, and Life were my first 3 main schools, actually, when I started the game. And, I don't know, Fire, I genuinely like this school. You know, PvP, PvE, you know, the sound and looks are okay, so let's get right into the rating of it. So actually, some of you guys might be surprised by this, but you know, I would actually put my Fire PvP experience on the same level as Storm, 9 out of 10. And now some of you guys might be surprised by that, like, wow, Liam, you talk what about Fire all the time. You talk about Heffy, you talk about Ifrit, you talk about Mander. You're a Fire hater, man. You're a hater, you know, dude. You're just a hater. Like, no. I can think objectively. I can see objectively that stuff is broken. I don't want to spam a broken card for 16 pixels on a game where rank doesn't mean a thing. I want to be rewarded for playing better and just having a bigger brain, basically. Like, that's what I want, right? So personally, that's why I haven't, you know, been playing on my personal favorite school, right? Which is Fire. I mean, I guess Fire and Storm are kind of even in that sense, but Yeah, no, I enjoy fire a lot. I think there's a lot of skill curve to it. A lot of people are worried about, oh, Mander and Heavy are nerfed. What does fire have? You still have E-Free. The thing is, you just have to keep your pips now, and you have to be wise on how you dump your pips, and you have to be smart and actually play well to get the win, rather than just spam Heavy Mander, Heavy Mander, Heavy Mander, Heavy Mander the whole game. Right? It's just, I don't know, man. That's just how it is. Again, I'm a fire main. I can just see through the BS, so yeah, I'd rate it 9 out of 10, same as Storm in my opinion. PvE, I'd probably also say is 8 out of 10, same with Storm, to be honest with you. I enjoy playing Fire quite a bit. However, I feel like I like Storm more, as in, there's more risks and stuff like that. So I probably, yeah, I mean, I'll probably bump it down to 7.5, honestly. Because I like Storm a bit more because of that risk factor. So we'll take it down a little bit to 7.5 as opposed to an 8. In terms of the sound of the fire stuff, I personally am not a big fan of it. I'd probably rate it a 6, I think it could sound a bit better. It's okay. I think, it's not terrible. I just think there could be more, like, oomph to it or whatever, I guess. Kind of like the same thing with Storm. If they're the biggest hitting schools, why do I feel like, damn, bro, this sound sounds like the sound sounds like it's gonna mess that dude up or something, I wish it was just, more of a beefier sound for Fire and Storm, but I definitely am not a fan of the fire sound. Last and not least, we have the looks. So again, I'm talking about the stitch gear, I'm talking about the symbol in general, and I'd probably have to put this at about an 8, I would say. Fire still has, like, the basic stuff. There's nothing wrong with having, basic symbol gear. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special, sorry. I don't mind that stuff. Personally, I'm a very simplistic dude, right? I don't mind it, and the symbol, honestly, I think is probably one of the best parts about it. I just wish, one little nitpick I have is the symbols when you're casting it. I wish, like, there was more fire surrounding the symbol, or like more orange maybe or something, with like when you're casting the card, because how it looks right now, it seems so lame. Like, I feel like there could be like so much more stuff going on if it's like an actual fire when you're casting the symbol, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That's what I think. So a total, we come to 30.5 points, so about 2.5 less than Storm. So, pretty close. And again, they are one of my, two of my favorite schools right now. Let's get on to the next one. Next up, we have the balance. Now, this is my third favorite school. Again, we're going from my favorite to my least favorite, I guess. Starting off with PvP on the balance, I would probably rate this at about a 8.5 or about an 8. Probably about an 8 though, I would say, to be honest with you. I like it, almost as much as Fire and Storm. It's a lot of stuff you can do on a balance. You get pretty cracked stats. It really comes down to how well you play in the match to get your win, basically. And I really, really genuinely do like schools like that. I believe if you play well in a game, you should be rewarded, right? That's common sense, common, game design, basically. So, yeah, I put it at an 8 out of 10. It has a good balance, no pun intended, I guess. Or maybe the pun is intended, I have no idea. Of, offensive pressure, but also being, like, defensive and not, like, too wild, like a Storm or a Fire, right? You can kind of play it the way you want to play it. You can be a 70 resist Andy, you can play Glass Cannon. There's a lot you can do, basically, right? And, for that, I give it props. I'm going to put it at a solid 8 out of 10 for PvP. PvE, though, we have a different story. I genuinely hate balanced PvE. Oh my god. I can't name the amount of times I have been stuck on a boss for an entire day trying to solo it. I can't stand it. I cannot stand the support role. I honestly, I don't mind jading in PvE, but like just blading and blading and blading and fainting, like, it's not my cup of tea. I can't do it. With healing and stuff, I actually don't mind healing in PvE. I don't mind jading, right? But I usually do that on my life or my death, typically, not on my balance, right? I just generally don't like it balance in PvE. Again, just because it doesn't suit my playstyle. I don't enjoy playing support, and that's really all it comes down to, essentially. In terms of sound, though, I would say Balance probably has one of the better sounds in the game. I'd probably put this at a solid 8, up there with Storm, really. You know, it's good, but it's also, you know, it could be better. It could be better, basically, is the thing. It could be a lot worse. I think it's fine, but they definitely could improve it, just like Storm. And in terms of looks, I mean, you know, what would you expect? Balance. It's like a balance symbol, you know. In terms of stitch gear, I mean, the boots are pretty cool, but at the same time, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know if you guys get that impression as well, or if it's just me, but I'd probably put it at a 7 out of 10. I don't mind the basic balance symbol, to be honest with you, but the stitch gear, really not a fan of. The casting symbol as well. I think, like the fire thing I brought up, I wish there was more stuff going around the symbol for schools, like, I don't know, just balance and fire, really, I guess. You know, like Storm doesn't really need it. I just think balance and fire should have more emphasis on their symbols, I guess, for, you know, what they're supposed to be. And, you know, that's my opinion. So balance is sitting at a 29 rating on the list here. So we've had 32.5 for Storm, I think 31 for fire, and now we have 29 for balance. So next up here we have the life. Now my life, again, it's, I don't know. I like life because you can do a lot on it. You know, both PvP, PvE. I guess we'll start off with the PvP point because that's what we've been starting off with. I like life in PvP because, you know, on the healer school, you can play offensively and, you know, kind of ignore the identity. I know it kind of sounds mental, I guess, but at the same time, it's pretty impressive when a life just wins without healing, right? I think we can all mutually agree on that. You know, a glass cannon life who just wins by playing better, that's a lot more respectable than somebody with 70 resist, healing like 6 times, right? You know, bracing over and over, right? So, you know, I think it's like a respect thing and a skill curve to it that I like about it in PvP. And also, I like that there's a lot of stuff you can do on a life in general. Obviously, all you really see from life is like Lumi spam, you know, take an open shad maybe, right? But when you actually play offensive life, you can get like a blade, infoul, bubble, trap. You get like 4 buffs, right? You can really apply a lot of pressure, and, you know, you can figure out if you want to brulee, loom, hidden bubble, you know, go for a strike, force lord dog play maybe, or you could even like pack a spiny sword maybe. Like there's a lot of stuff you could do on a life, and I generally enjoy that, right? But at the same time, I really don't like how if I play another healing school right now, that the timer, you know, if they stall the timer and they like it's their fault for being poor sportsmanship, that I could get punished and lose because of that. My voice is going out. Oh my god. So yeah, I guess that's like a thing in general too, but basically all the weak schools, right, is if you go second or whatever, you go first, right? If your other opponent has no respect or no sportsmanship, basically, they can just stall the timer and not actually want to play better than you and have a good game. And, you know, I think that's really stupid. So it kind of lowers the bar for me on life a little bit. So I'd probably have to rate life PvP at maybe about a 7.5 out of 10, I would say, probably. You know, it's not terrible, it's not bad. I just think there needs to be a couple of fixes in the game before I can, you know, fully enjoy it and fully embrace it, essentially. I can play it pretty aggressively, but, you know, there's just some things that need to change for now. PvE, I actually don't mind life all that much, to be honest with you. You know, I got some pretty cracked PvE stats on my life character. I min-maxed, or whatever the hell Ferric wants to call it, dude, you know. I just like to crank up my damage and stuff like that and do that. I do like that life can hit pretty hard in PvE right now. I also do like I can Jade if I need to, right? Again, I'm not, I don't hate, you know, I mean, it's just PvE, it's Jading, it's a different thing, right? In PvP, Jading is bad, but in terms of PvE, I don't mind being a Jade, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't mind being that kind of support on the team. I just don't like being a guy who blades over and over. But that being said, I do think there could be a couple more things I could look into to make life a bit better in the PvE aspect of things. So I'm gonna probably set it around an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think 8 out of 10 is fair probably for PvE. But you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know, what do you rate this stuff? Do you agree so far? And yeah, let's get onto the sound now. Personally, this is a fun fact. I've actually always been annoyed by the sound of the life symbol, and now you might be like, Liam, how have you not told us this? How have you not? You spent 7 months. We've spent 7 months with you, you know, and you haven't told us this. I don't know, man. It's just the symbols. It's too positive, I guess, but it's the life symbol, so like, I guess it makes sense. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, you could call me like a negative Nancy, I guess, but like, I just don't like stuff in life that's like really like over the top and like, well, like, oh, joyful, friendly. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't know. I don't really consider myself too negative of a person, but it just rubs me the wrong way. I hope that kind of makes sense, guys. Yeah, let's get onto the looks next. So life has two looks here. You have the lion stuff, and you have the life elegant stuff. And just for the sake of the video, we're gonna do the life elegant gear. Now, I think the boots are honestly really good looking in my opinion. And the hat is, you know, it's not terrible. Could be better though. And the life symbol, I think, is just fine. So I'd probably have to rate this, I don't know, man. Maybe a 7.5. Probably a 7.5. Yeah, I would say a 7.5 probably out of 10. It's not bad. I wish it was better though, to be honest. I think if the hat maybe had like, you know, like leaves maybe in like the middle, that could be cool. Rather than this just vines. I think that could be really neat. But yeah, let's get on to the next school. So I'm an idiot. Life is sitting at 28. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. It is what, 4 in the morning when I'm recording this video. I need to go to sleep, but we're gonna finish this video for you guys. Next up, we have Myth. Now, Myth, I actually do enjoy quite a bit. I'm gonna kind of actually rate it a bit lower than a couple of the other things here on the video. But don't get twisted, I do like Myth. However, I feel like the school is very, very generic, and it really lacks identity, and it kind of really turns me off. So I just want to get that across before we get right into the ranking of the stuff here. But for PvP, Myth has a lot of stuff going for it. There's a lot of cool combos you can do, stuff like that. There's a very high skill ceiling to it as well, kind of like Storm, and I really, really genuinely do like that. But at the same time, I feel like Myth is like lacking a card that can like, they can kind of just like spam, I guess. And you know, I don't want to have like a meta where it's just like mana burn spam over and over. But I feel like there's no like good card like Dead Around Shields on a Myth. I know that sounds mental. Liam, you have King Art, you have Minotaur, right? But like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just like a better overtime Myth needs. Like, I feel like it's missing something. I feel like it's missing something that could be like, again, like kind of spammed like over and over, like something just more accessible, I guess, to Myth. I really feel like they're missing something like that, and I don't know. Again, it's just that void, I guess, for PvP, and the overall generic stuff of Myth just really turns me off. So I put it at a 7.5 probably. Next up for PvE, personally, I was one of the guys who thought Myth was the dumbest school in the game when I started the game. Until, you know, I started the channel, and I'm like, oh boy, Liam, you gotta quest a Myth and see what it's like, just like everybody else. And what did I know? About halfway through the game or so, you actually kind of like start to get to like Myth quite a bit. You know, you get pretty cracked stats. I'm missing a couple of things, but you got like 170 damage basically, right? Yeah, pretty cracked stats, right? You hit pretty hard. I think you're the 3rd hardest hitter. Orthrus basically does a lot, like almost as much as like a fire dragon kinda type of beat, and I really like that. But in PvE, you know, why blade a Myth when you can blade a Storm, right? whether, I mean, you know, I could pick over a fire or a myth. That's fair, but a storm's always just better, right? So I don't know. I think myth is fine in PvE. Again, I've become a lot more accepting of the school personally. And yeah, I'd probably rate it at about a 7. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just generic, and you know, that's my opinion. I think it's fun to play. Like, I don't look at myth, I'm like, oh god, I have to quest the myth, you know? I say that on stream, obviously, right? But you know, that's more of a thing. Like, I've done Lemuria like 6 times already. I don't want to quest through it again, but I do enjoy you know, using Orthros and stuff in PvE and having pretty cracked stats. Next up, we're gonna talk about the looks. Personally, I really like the stitch gear on myth. Like, the boots look really cool. Some of the most cool, elegant boots in the game, in my opinion. The hat also is pretty cool. But I really hate the myth symbol, and again, this is an opinion. I know there might be some hot takes in this video, but it just looks so stupid, bro. Like, it just looks so generic. Like, what, am I staring at an Egyptian eye or something, bro? Like, you know, no hate to Egyptians, obviously. I like Egyptian history. I'm like a big history nerd, but like, dude, why it's like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I don't get what they're thinking with this myth symbol, and I just really don't like it. So I think I'm gonna probably put it at a 6.5 out of 10. Next up, the sound. I think the sound is just really lame, to be honest with you. I'm gonna put it at a 6 out of 10 as well. So I think that totals us up at 27.5, I believe would be the number, right? I think so. I don't know. Something like that. 27.5 or 27. It's one or the other. I'm too tired. It's one of those. That's the number 5 spot. Let's get on to the next one. So next up, we got the ice, and I honestly do like ice quite a bit. It is, you know, obviously at the end of the list, but I don't know. I really, ice is a defensive school at the end of the day. I'm an offensive player, right? I'll have more success playing an offensive school, and that's just that essentially, right? But personally, ice is up there with balance for me, right? I just put it at the end here because of, you know, how it is, unfortunately. So in PvP, right now, I'd probably rate ice at about a 7.5 in my opinion. Obviously, we're not talking about what, you know, combat effectiveness. I'm just thinking about, you know, how much I enjoy it. So I'd probably put that at a 7.5, about the same as myth, kind of. Ice can be kind of repetitive, but you can do a lot. You can do, you know, spam Winter Moon. You can Shatterhorn instead of an A-Bomb. You can Surge or Frostbite. You can use a Snow Angel. You can Colossus. You can Ice King Art. There's a lot you can do, and I really like that. But what I don't like is, you know, when you just don't do any damage at all. It's just like, dude, like, I have a double buffed hit. He has a double buffed hit, but like, he does like more. Like, it's just like, it's like a little, I don't know, man. What is it? I'm not sure what the word is. It's just like, if I'm playing a fire and I have a bubbled bladed hit and he has an invalid bubbled hit or something, or that made no sense probably. Good lord. Anyways, you get the point. 2 buffs, 2 buffs. Like, if we trade, the fire's always gonna do more, and it kind of makes me feel like, oh, well, I'm not doing good, you know? But the thing is, at the end of the day, right, you start with way more health than that guy, so technically, even if you do trade like a bit less, you're still technically ahead. That's kind of how it works, right? With the extra starting health, essentially. So, you know, I do think ice is pretty solid, but, and I enjoy it, but I don't think it's in a great spot right now. And I think it could be a bit more offensive, but King's Island needs to be careful with that. So we'll leave it at a 7.5. Next up, for PvE, I'm going to put ice at a 5. Now, again, I don't, you know, ice is like literally like the weakest school. I can't play really offensive in it in PvE. I have some pretty good stats for an ice in PvE, obviously. But I don't know, man. I really cannot enjoy it. I don't know. You know, you just can't play very offensive, and your hits just suck. you're usually stuck blading somebody else like a storm or something like that, and I really just don't enjoy being a tank that does nothing but sponge damage essentially, and yeah, that's why I'm gonna rate it at a 5. Next up, we have the looks. Now, I actually really do like the ice stitches. I like the boots. I like the hat. I honestly do like the symbol as well. Like the casting symbol, I think is really good. And I'd probably put that up there with Storm as well at an 8, to be honest with you. Next up, the sound. I don't know. I don't mind the sound, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying, I feel like. I don't know if anybody has that. Maybe it's just me from like PTSD when I was like 13 or something. I have no idea. Getting like ice birded over and over or something. I have no idea. But it's just something about the ice sound. It seems so obnoxious to me, and I don't know. That's just kind of how it is. So I mean, I don't mind it. So maybe I'd put it probably at a 6.5, I guess. So actually, we went to 28 points on this one, which actually should have. Well, I mean, I would be tied with life, I guess, but I don't enjoy life I don't enjoy ice as much as I enjoy myth, so that's why I'm putting it a bit later on in this video. But in terms of like myth, ice, and life, I probably put them all in the same boat in terms of enjoyment, but for the sake of the video and the spots, we kind of have to do it this way, right? So yeah, let's get onto the final school. Now, the final school, the best school in the game right now, of course, is at the last place. I don't like playing the meta 24/7. I don't have fun doing that. I don't have fun playing Brain Dead 24/7, you know, dude. But, yeah, I probably have to put my death enjoyment in terms of PvP at a 6 out of 10. You know, I'm a guy who wants to win by playing better, and death right now is just do the absolute bare minimum and play Brain Dead and you'll win, right? I actually want to, you know, have a good game. I'll play my opponent and I'll value them. However, I do know, I'm aware if I just played Brain Dead and did, you know, stupid moves over and over, I could get away with it with how busted the school is right now. So I put my enjoyment at a low 6 out of 10. Again, it is the best school in the game right now, so I just don't like that. It's the same thing with Fire before. I didn't like Fire, even though it's my main school. I didn't like it because it's clearly just broke. I don't like that stuff. I don't like riding the meta 24/7. In terms of PvE, I think Death is a lot of fun to solo. However, I do think it's pretty annoying to only click like Deer Knight or Scarecrow, really, or Ship of Fools. I guess Deer Knight is the coolest, but Death doesn't really have a solid hit that isn't a drain. You know, I feel like I get tired of clicking Scarecrow over and over, right? You solo, you go for a Scarecrow, you go for a Scarecrow, maybe a Deer Knight. That's it. I don't get much enjoyment out of that, but I do enjoy that Death can, you know, like do the impossible and solo a lot of stuff. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Alright, in terms of sound, I'm going to leave this at a 6.5 out of 10. I don't mind the Death sound, especially the ending part of it. I think it sounds pretty cool, but I think the start of it is just, I don't like it, to be honest, and I don't really got much to comment on that. I think they could have made it a little bit cooler, but, you know, hey man, it is what it is, right? Now, in terms of looks, you know, like the hat, the shoes, and the symbol, honestly, gotta say, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I think the stitch gear is okay, but what really rubs me the wrong way about the symbol and the stitch gear is the damn symbol. The symbol just looks so goddamn childish, and you could be like, Liam, it's a kid's card game. And I guess that's kind of a fair point, I guess, but I can't take the death school seriously when it looks like a goddamn child is representing the school. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. I'm just gonna leave it at a 7 out of 10. So in total here, we come to 26.5 points. So that concludes the video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Be sure to leave a like rating if you made it this far, and I do appreciate you guys for watching the entire thing. It does mean a lot to me. And yeah, maybe subscribe as well if you are new around here. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video, and as always, take care, guys.